One night you wake up, but this isn't an ordinary night. You're living about 1,000 years ago in the middle of the Viking Age. Snow is falling outside. The wind is pounding against the wooden walls of your home. It's dark. Even the stars are difficult to see through the clouds. The temperature is far below freezing, maybe 20 degrees below zero, maybe even colder. You're not in a modern house. There is no central heating, no electricity, no insulated windows, no thermostat. There's only a wooden home, animal skins, and a fire burning in the middle of the room, and tonight, you have to sleep here. Your home is a longhouse. Vikings built these long wooden homes to live in. The walls are made of wood. The roof has a wooden frame covered with grass and thatch. The house is long and narrow. It only takes a few seconds to walk from one end to the other, but many people live inside. Your family, your relatives, sometimes other families too. Even animals may stay inside, because during winter, every bit of warmth matters. A large fire burns in the middle of the house. Food is cooked over it. Smoke rises toward the roof. Some of it escapes through an opening above, but not all of it. A thin haze remains inside. Your eyes sometimes sting, but nobody complains because there is a much bigger problem: the cold. The night goes on. You sit beside the fire. One side of your face is warm, the other side is cold. If you move just a few steps away, you can immediately feel the difference. You move closer to the flames, you stretch your hands toward the fire. Slowly, your fingers begin to warm up. The fire doesn't just keep you warm, it cooks your food, it heats your water, it helps you make tools, it keeps the darkness away, and it offers some protection from wild animals. That's why the fire isn't just an object. The fire is at the center of your life. The night is getting late. You need to sleep. Your bed isn't a modern mattress. It's a wooden platform. Dry grass lies across it. Animal skins are placed on top. A folded piece of fur rests beneath your head. You pull a thick covering over yourself. You don't completely remove your wool clothing, because the temperature may drop even further during the night. Your family sleeps beside you. Everyone stays close together because body heat matters, and only a few meters away, the fire continues to burn. One of the most important ways Vikings fought the cold was through clothing. Wool, leather, fur, they were used in layers. Wool was especially valuable because even when it became damp, it could still provide some insulation. A soft layer underneath, a thicker layer on the outside, fur over everything, a woolen cap on your head, gloves on your hands, leather shoes on your feet. But even all of this doesn't make you invincible. It only gives you more time to survive the cold. Morning comes, the fire is still burning, but the supply of firewood is getting low. Someone needs to go outside and collect more. Today, it's your turn. You open the door, and the cold hits your face. Your breathing changes instantly. You can feel the freezing air entering your lungs. Snow crunches beneath your feet. The wind blows directly against your face. You take your axe and begin walking toward the forest. In winter, firewood isn't just fuel, it's a survival resource, because if the firewood runs out, the fire goes out. If the fire goes out, the house quickly becomes cold. If the house becomes cold, people use more energy, and if they use more energy, they need more food. That's why you collect firewood even during the summer. Dry branches, fallen trees, thick logs, all of it is carried back home, stored for the winter, a winter supply, a kind of life insurance. You return in the evening. A large pot is hanging over the fire. Inside is a hot meal: meat, fish, grains, vegetables, sometimes dairy products. During winter, there isn't as much variety as there is in summer, but you've prepared for this. Throughout the summer, you've preserved food, you've dried fish, you smoked meat, you've salted or dried other foods, you've stored grain, because Vikings didn't simply wait for winter to arrive, they prepared for it. If you live near the sea, fish is a major advantage. You can still fish during winter, freezing water, cold wind, wet hands, but fish is valuable. It provides protein, it provides fat, and it can be stored for a long time. Some fish is dried, some is smoked, some is cooked immediately. Every piece of food that reaches the table during winter is the result of preparation that began months earlier. But fish isn't always enough. You have to hunt. You walk into the forest looking for animal tracks in the snow, deer, wild boar, rabbits, sometimes larger prey. The tracks in the snow tell you a story. Fresh tracks, old tracks, a single animal, a herd. An experienced hunter knows how to read all of them. You move quietly. You watch the direction of the wind. You don't want the animal to smell you, because in winter, a failed hunt isn't just a waste of time, it's a loss of food. Life continues inside the village. Someone is cutting firewood, someone is cleaning fish, someone is working with leather, someone is sewing clothes, someone is making weapons and tools. Children are playing around the houses, the elderly sit beside the fire. They tell stories. They remember the past. They teach the younger generation. Winter isn't just about the cold. It's also a time when the community stays together. Night comes again. The sun disappeared hours ago. The wind is howling outside. Snow falls onto the roof. You sit beside the fire. You're tired, but you're safe. The fire is burning. Your family is beside you. Your food is warm. Your clothes are dry. Your fur is wrapped around you. You hear the sound of the wind. But you're no longer afraid because you know this life. You know how to survive the winter. You know when to go outside. You know how much firewood you need. You know how long your food will last. Your ancestors taught you all of this. Then the wind outside becomes stronger. The roof begins to shake. The door moves in its frame. Snow flies horizontally through the air. Nobody goes outside. In weather like this, it is incredibly easy to get lost. Even if you walk only a few hundred meters from the house, you can lose your sense of direction. So everyone stays inside. More firewood is added to the fire. The door is checked. The roof is checked. The food supplies are checked. No matter how long the storm lasts, you have to be prepared. The cold isn't the only danger. Disease is dangerous too. Coughing, fever, injuries, infections. There is no modern medicine, no antibiotics, no hospitals. A wound can sometimes be minor. Sometimes it can be fatal. That's why people help each other. The knowledge of the elderly is important. Knowledge about plants, knowledge about wounds, knowledge about childbirth, knowledge about preserving food. All of this knowledge is passed from one generation to the next. But Vikings didn't live only on land. The sea was a major part of their lives. Long ships, narrow hulls, wooden oars, sails. These ships carried them to distant places. The sea could be a source of food, a trade route, or a source of danger. Even during winter, the sea was not completely off limits. But sailing into a stormy North Sea required courage. Now you return home. Snow is falling outside. A fire is burning inside. Your family is beside you. The food is warm. Your clothes are dry. Your fur is wrapped around you. You can hear the wind, but you're no longer afraid because you know this life. You know how to survive the winter. You know when to go outside. You know how much firewood you need. You know how long your food will last. Your ancestors taught you all of this. Weeks pass, then months. The days slowly become longer. The sun rises a little earlier. One morning you step outside. Beneath the snow you see a tiny drop of water. The snow is melting. Spring is coming. Winter isn't completely over yet, but you know its end is getting closer. Animals begin moving again. The land begins to wake up. And the village comes alive once more. 1,000 years ago, winter wasn't simply a cold season for a Viking. It was a test of preparation, a test of endurance, a test of knowledge, and most importantly, a test of staying together. Fire, food, clothing, shelter, family, community, All of these were parts of survival. Today we sit in warm rooms, we press a button, the heater turns on, the supermarket is only minutes away, hot food is ready. But 1,000 years ago, none of these things existed. There was only the fire, and the people gathered around it, trusting one another. Now, close your eyes. Imagine the wind outside. Imagine the snow falling onto the roof. Listen to the sound of the fire. Listen to the crackling wood. And travel back 1,000 years to the Viking longhouse, to the winter night, to the fire. And now, sleep. Good night.